Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final 9 holes of the 2018 Tim Selinske U.S. Masters powered by Innova. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, joined with very special guest commentator in Courtney McCoy. Courtney, you're currently sitting on a 4-stroke advantage with just 9 holes left to play. This is a PDGA major. You're trying to track down your second one ever. What are you thinking right now?
I'm excited to go into the back 9 because I feel really confident on the back 9, and let's do this.
You've stayed out of trouble. You've had all pars on the front 9, in fact, and that again gives you the 4-stroke advantage. Mel Ring's hanging in there, but she looks to be comfortably sitting in 3rd place, and we start moving to the longer, more challenging part of this course. This is the Silver course at Lemon Lake County Park, and we start out with a par 4, 580 feet on hole 6.
This is a fun hole. I actually got a 3 on this hole the first round, which felt great. And after hitting this tree, just hoping to get a 4. I think Leslie's really smart to go out over to the right and come back in. That just hung out a little bit too long, but that's the smart play.
Yeah, it looks like she's just trying to take that tree out of play by throwing a hyzer out and around it, but it didn't fight back to the fairway quite enough. And your approach shot, that seems to be about all you can do there.
That's all you can do is just get it as far down the tunnel as you can. Mel's shot through that tunnel was incredible.
It really is. The position is what's so crucial there, and she put it right where you want to be.
And all you want to do is land in the middle of the fairway on this hole. If you get too far off in the rough, you can see it's pretty rough to the right. This is Leslie with her rock. She has magic rocks.
That's awesome.
She does. She has one even in her bag. I saw during the 3rd round that I was telling her she better watch out because it's the kind that I like to throw, an old Ontario rock. And here's something out of the bag of tricks, a forehand roll.
Yeah, there were just too many trees in front of me that were like 1 inch wide, and I knew for sure I was going to hit one because that's what kind of luck I have. So why not get a roller up there? You have a way higher percentage of rolling it through trees than throwing it through trees.
Well, I think I counted roughly 15 or so steps on that. Great putt to save the par, and Mel's putter, who's been so hot, just slips out on her. And
then Les saved her par too.
Very impressive as everyone's going to make their way to the basket. And thankfully, this is actually considerably dried up compared to what you guys saw throughout the previous few rounds. But lots of rain and wet came in just before this event took place. Now it's looking much better.
This hole is long. Yes. And I wanted to be a little bit further up to the right. You don't ever want to contend with teeny trees in the middle of a huge fairway. But you take what you're given. Leslie's shot is beautiful.
Yeah, I think that was almost a perfect placement for her. And I think this might be a T-Bird 3
I think
that
so
we
too.
see from Mel. She throws
That's
it
her
quite
go-to
often.
driver. She throws it well.
I think that speaks more to, it might not be the fastest disc on the market or the fastest disc in her bag, but if that's where she feels like she's most comfortable and accurate, you love seeing her throw that so much off the tee.
And that just barely ticked the top of that tree.
It looked like it was going to come all the way to the basket. And for you, this is a relatively short and easy approach shot, putting yourself within 15.
Just throw a Firebird, and when it hits the ground, it's going to trickle down.
Quite the acrobatic move there by Mel. Leslie gives it a good run, but she's got a little tester coming back. But she seems, when she's up and throwing, which is quick, she's pretty dialed in right now.
She's very focused. You can see that look in her eye.
And your first birdie of the round.
Yay!
How did you do on hole 7 during your first round out there?
I got a 3. I got a birdie. Both rounds.
Very nice. Well, that gives you a 5-stroke advantage and 10 over third. And there's only about 6 or 7 holes left to play. And here's another one. You get to give it all the power you've got. What are you throwing there?
I'm throwing my champion turn. It's my go-to disc for power. I can really lay on it and make it go far. The first round I played to the left, where these girls are going. The second round, I decided to go a little differently because it didn't quite work out.
We see the second card just ahead of us. And Mel's going to try something and just doesn't quite turn it over, and she's going to get punished over there.
Yeah, you do not want to be in that left part. If you had been with us the first round, Terry, you would have just said, yep, she's in there somewhere. We can't see her, but we know she's in there.
And just so everyone knows, the grass here, this is considerably shorter than when you see it most of the year. Being that it's early May, that grass hasn't grown in, that can get as high as your waist or even higher, making anything off the fairway almost impossible to run up into. But here in the early part of May, not too bad.
But let's talk about that shot.
Yes. Up and over. That was impressive.
That was insane. So I was like, I can do that too.
The problem is you didn't have anything to stop it like she did. That's going to put you in a world of hurt over on that right-hand side, and Lesli just can't stay clean all the way through.
This is a really tough par 5. I'd like to see the score averages for the whole course of players on this hole. I bet it would be probably closer to a 6 on the averages.
And Lesli couldn't get all the way out, so she steps up, throws a forehand. Leslie's tapped in already. Mel's tapping in, and you're still off fighting through the woods here.
Yeah. You know me. I like to be in the woods.
You got a long putt. This is to save the par. Very impressive.
Walking away with a par on this hole is fine. Par is good.
And a par, yeah, it again gives you another stroke of cushion. You have 6 right now. And is this that same champion turn?
This is the less stable of my champion turns, and I just didn't aim at the right place. It flew the way it should fly, but my head didn't. I didn't aim my body in the right direction. Did you see she tripped on that tee pad before she threw, and she still bombed it?
She was, again, she's just ready to go. I think she just kind of wanted to get things over with. She had, experienced a little frustration in the front 9. And, yeah, I did notice that both live and in edit, that she just got up and throw. And here she was ready to throw again, and I wasn't ready for her. That's why you only see the latter half of her shot. And I really love this shot by you, coming out nice and comfortable, letting it stall down. And you're looking at a possible birdie here.
I've had that rock in my bag for 18 years, maybe 17.
Well, it looks like it stalled perfectly for you. Mel also right there for birdie, and getting the work done quickly is Lesli as she taps in for her birdie. So 3 birdies here on hole 9.
We made that hole look easy.
Just 5 holes left to play. You have a 6-stroke advantage. And this kind of plays like a few of the holes we saw in the front 9. Slightly uphill and just a finish to the left.
And there's a little creek over to the left behind the basket that you don't want to skip into, but this is very similar to the earlier hole. Same line, same distance. You should walk away with a 2 on this hole.
Wow. That had to feel good.
It felt great.
You're like, game on. Done. Nail in the coffin. Is that what you were thinking at that point?
Not quite yet. I don't ever take it for granted because it's once I relax, I get really terrible. So if I had turned my intensity off, I'm gonna lose.
Okay, well, Mel manages the great-looking birdie as well, so Leslie will be the only one left out of the birdie party, but 2 birdies and a really close run at it. Just 4 holes left to play. 7-stroke advantage, and right now, Mel's got to be thinking, hey, can I possibly catch Leslie and take over that number 2 spot?
And I didn't realize they were that close at this point.
Was that a misfire on your part, or did the disc just not do what you thought?
I don't know what it is about this hole, but everybody I've seen throw this hole throws it into the woods on the left. And the tee pad's not facing that way. It's not slanted. It's not angled. There's no reason. It's just a wide open 300-foot shot. Just throw it.
And Mel outstretched. You're going to go over to the forehand flick. And what are you flicking with there?
A putter. My AVR. My XT AVR.
We'll see Leslie do the same. She's just going to throw it up right next to the pin.
Hers was much more effective.
And you're left deep. And were you thinking about the hill that, kind of slopes down behind you, or just didn't follow through, or what happened there?
No, I thought it was a perfect putt, and then I stood there. There was just a little bit of a tailwind, and I'm such a push spin putter. It just really affects my putt.
All right. Well, that's the one blemish that you've had. And then I think we got some insights about rental cars here. What's this?
It doesn't have.
Oh, my rental car was so bad. It was a
doesn't
tin
have, like,
can with a
key
steering
fob.
wheel.
It doesn't have power windows.
Yeah.
It was so
I
bad.
didn't
Why'd you
even
put
know
this
that
in
was a
there,
thing anymore.
Terry?
It doesn't have power seats. But it's filthy. It's mud covered inside. Like they're gonna be like charging.
Some disc golf traveler problems. The first world problems with our rental cars not having all the bells and whistles. And after Mel throws, she's pushing that right side. Leslie pushes the right side. It kind of kicks back toward her. And then you're going to follow up and
do the same thing.
So the 3 of you throw slightly left on the previous hole. Then all 3 of you throw slightly right on this hole. Just down the middle is what we need. So you're going big turnover, trying to just kind of force your way through. Did you miss your line and go a little high there?
I wanted to throw it further out and actually a little bit higher because there's a big hole through the trees up there. We should just not copy each other here. I don't know why we're all like, oh, she did something bad. Let me do that too.
And Mel, who hit basket on 5, almost rings it up on 12.
And this is about 100 feet still.
And that's a solid run as well, just flashing in front of the basket. Leslie steps up and
she's like, I got that.
I'm not going to follow those 2 for this one. I think I'm just going to get this done right here, right now. And cans the long birdie. And both yourself and Mel here are left with the pars. So not too bad playing that 1 under as a group.
Not bad.
Just 2 holes left to play. Just holding on. You got 5 strokes, and Leslie has 4 over Mel.
This is one of my favorite holes on the course. It's got a really cool knoll down there at the basket, down into a really neat little area that's drawn out by a creek. It's 370, but it's birdieable. I like this hole.
Well, you pure the gap, and it's going to hyzer out slightly, but that's still in perfectly good position if you're trying to just get up and down for a 3. You're not really in a spot where you can give it a run from there, so to speak. Here's Leslie throwing her Nova right up underneath the pin. That's an easy par. And there's just no point in you to run that. Is that what you
I'm
were
just
thinking?
trying to lay it up and not roll down the hill.
Mel finds that tree between her and the pin, and she's been putting so solid, but not able to convert.
She didn't follow through on that putt.
Yeah, you've got to be thinking about that hill behind you and possibly getting away from you, and unfortunately that may have come into mind for her as Leslie's going to tap out for her 3.
Because it's not just the hill. I mean, there's a lot of goop down there. There's a lot of trees and limbs, and you could possibly not be able to get back to the basket and just be 30 feet away down that hill.
So Mel is going to end her run at chasing down Leslie. She's going to tap in, take the triple bogey, and both you and Leslie with the 3s. And we're moving on to our final hole of the weekend, trying to close this thing out. 225 slightly downhill. That's a rock. Am I correct?
That's a rock. That's adrenaline. It's the last hole. Like, pretty much no matter what I do here, it's going to be a victory. And I've never felt that before. In the 20 years I've played, I've never walked up to the last hole knowing for sure that I was going to win. So that was just pure adrenaline.
Well, and Leslie had thrown so quickly, both me and the catch camera, Johnny V, missed her throw entirely. She put herself down into the left, kind of where you are, but not quite as far. And that's Mel coming back. And Mel's going to finish with the bogey.
That's a big hill.
And Leslie had put herself within 25 feet, 20 feet of the pin, looking at a birdie.
Great putt to finish.
Well, she finishes pretty strong. 2 birdies on the last 3 holes. And here's your tap out. And I believe we've got Michael Downs with the official call.
Thank you.
That was a good feeling. It's like, what do I do now?
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome. It's your first champion of the day, the 2018 U.S. Masters champion in the women's division, Miss Courtney McCoy.
There you go, and your crown champion. Some hugs. Everybody double checks the scorecard.
Leslie, great finish.
We're going to close things out. I catch up with you for an interview as the hubby comes over, gives the hug and a kiss and the congratulations. And Courtney, thanks for joining us. We'll listen to the final interview that you and I did as we're closing things out. And congratulations on a stellar weekend.
Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Courtney McCoy, your champion. Here's what she had to say right after the event wrapped up. I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. I'm here with our champion, Courtney McCoy. Courtney, it was a great weekend of golf for you, and you came out victorious. How does it feel?
It feels amazing to win, and Leslie was a tremendous competitor.
It was really close going into this final round. You guys were just a stroke or 2 apart. She struggled a little bit, but then turned it on at the end, but you had a cushion. Were you nervous at all?
I was really nervous going into the round, to the point of shaking and almost crying, because I've never led after every round. I've never been in that position after playing for 22 years, so it was definitely something new for me, and something you have to learn how to win.
Well, and your biggest supporter and fan and husband is out here as well. What does it mean winning with him in your presence?
It was pretty cool. I want to win in front of him.
Now, does he ever give you any advice? I hear you're the better putter in the house, which I completely believe, as we've seen throughout the weekend. Does he give you any advice, or does he just let you play your game?
He gives me advice, and I'm like, shh.
All right, that'll be our little secret. All right, well, quickly recap your experience here for the U.S. Masters this weekend.
I have 0 complaints about this tournament. It was run well. The courses were in excellent shape. This was my favorite course, the silver course. One of my favorite courses I've played, actually. High fun factor, a 15 out of 10 fun factor. The food was delicious. Jay and Deb ran a great tournament. And they had a huge staff, which made it flow really effectively.
All right, well, and the PDGA presidents, all the supporters, all the sponsors, additional media, and everyone was out here. Final words and parting shots, sponsors, people you need to thank.
If you're not throwing Innova, you're not winning.
Wow. She said it all right. This is Courtney McCoy. I've got to thank Johnny V, along with Trent, who helped out for the weekend. I want to thank the PDGA and all the supporters out there for watching the video blog. Also, I want to thank Courtney and Mel for doing the third round coverage. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time with the Disc Golf Guy.